Welcome back to the A Gang. Welcome back. And if you are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber and or viewer, don't forget this video a big thumbs up and comment down below. Today we are going to be talking about co-parenting. That's right, I said it, co-parenting. But before we get on into the nitty-gritty, let's just read the definition of co-parenting, okay? So the definition of co-parenting is a process where two parents work together to raise a child even though they were divorced or separated and no longer live together. An example of co-parenting is when a divorced mother and father share legal and physical custody of a child. Okay? That's the definition of co-parenting. But is the process of co-parenting an easy process? Absolutely not. Co-parenting can be easy depending on your co-parent. Co-parenting for me and my co-parent has definitely not been easy. It has been a rocky road. There are still battles that we face. The biggest struggle for me and my co-parent, I feel like, is communication. We suffer from lack of communication. Now, this has been our biggest problem since day one. He communicates in a different form than I do. He's very loud. He gets very angry. He gets very aggressive, and he begins to name call. And those are behaviors that I just don't accept. So if he gives me this, then I give him this, and then we have nothing at all. I just won't tolerate this disrespect. I don't tolerate disrespect from anyone, and it's either you're going to respect me as a woman and as the mother of your child, or we're just not going to communicate at all. These days, as my son gets older, it has become a lot easier because we don't have to communicate as much because my son can communicate with him on his own. I no longer have to be that middleman standing in between them and their relationship. So if my son wants to call his father, if my son wants to see his father, then he arranges that on his own. If his father wants to see him, then he arranges that with his son. I'm coming to pick him up. Okay, no problem. He'll be ready. The less communication we have to have between each other is the best thing for our co-parenting relationship. We were both very young parents. I didn't really know myself. He didn't really know himself. We didn't really know each other. And here we are throwing a baby into the mix. Now we have this baby. We don't even know what to do with this baby. We don't even know how to raise this baby. We were, before my son even turned 1, we were separated. Okay? So that just threw another... It just did another loop inside of the mix. Before my son turned 1, we were already separated, okay? So here we are trying to be parents, trying to grow, trying to learn ourselves, but both freshly new parents. We both only were giving but so much tools. Neither one of us grew up in the perfect household. Neither one of us grew up with a sound structure. Was my mother and father there? Yes. Was his mother and father there? Yes. But was it things that we really can implement and give back to our child? No. So we had to learn those things on our own, okay? He spent weeks, he spent months without showing up, without being there. And I spent weeks and I spent months crying, not understanding why he would choose not to be there for his child. Again, we were both very young, and over time I had to learn that we were both very young, and maybe that was his process, and my process is completely different, okay? So ladies, please don't stress yourself. If that man ain't being there for his child, he's going to have to deal with that. He's going to have to be the one to deal with that. All you can be is be the best mother and the best person that you are, that you can be for your child, okay? But if you are going to co-parent, I believe communication is definitely the key. I believe communication is definitely the grounds to a great co-parenting relationship, okay? Me and my co-parent, we don't pretend to be friends. I'm not his friend. We ain't buddies. We were never friends. We were never buddies. And again, that probably plays a huge part. We didn't even know how to parent together, let alone parent apart. All right? Drop a comment down below about your experience and what you have been through with your co-parent. This process is definitely not easy. Co-parenting, I feel like, is something that is the hardest thing I ever had to deal with in my 27 years of age. Why? Because you just can't control that other person. You can't control what goes on in that other person's household, okay? Your child becomes two separate people. When they're with you, they're one person, and when they're with their co-parent, they're a completely different person. Trust me, they are. Okay, these children are very, very sneaky, okay? and they know how to manipulate. So when they with you, there'd be one person, and there with their other parent, there'd be another person. That's why my son comes back in the door. I check him at the door. I check him at the door. I'm not the normal type of parent. I'm not asking, oh, what happened when you was there, this, that. And I don't want my child to realize is that whatever happened when you were there, whatever behavior that you were doing when you were there, it stops now. That shit stops now. Everything stops now when you walk back in this door. Comment down below if any other mothers is like this as well, all right? I don't want to know if y'all play games. I don't want to know how long you stayed up at night. I don't want to know what you and your father talked about. I want you to know that whatever you had going on over there, it ain't going on over here. That's what type of mother I am, okay? That's what type of mother I am, and that's what type of parent I am, because I know that we are raising our child differently. I know that he is chastising my child differently than I would like him to. But again, that is his child, and that is his relationship with his child. And when my son is over here, we got into arguments about that. He's like, oh, you're too soft on him. You're too soft on him. This is how I'm raising my child and my household. Okay? The odds is already stacked up against him. And I'm not the only, but I'm the strongest support that my son got behind him. So am I going to beat him up and beat him down? Absolutely not. My job is to lift him up. My job is to build his spirit. My job is to let him know that I got him till the end. We have definitely argued about that before. We had argued about money before. I even took him to court. I took him to court on multiple occasions, not for child support, but for custody agreements. For the judge to say, you get your child this day, that way, that day, every other weekend, only for this man to turn around and still do what he want to do. Only for this man to still turn around to do what he want to do. The court to say, if you don't get your child, X, Y, and Z will happen. Let me rest assured you, X, Y, and Z don't never happen. X, Y, and Z don't never show up. Okay? X, Y, and Z will be like that baby daddy never coming to get your child. That shit ain't gonna never happen. Okay? I'm just keeping it real. So, don't even waste your time going to court. You're going to miss the whole day of work for what? You're not even getting no child support money. You're going to miss the whole day of work just to go down there to court for the man that's still to only do what he's going to do anyway. It took me 9 years to put my co-parent on child support. Matter of fact, I'm going to say 8. I'm going to say 8 years. For the longest time, all I ever wanted him to do was just be a physical presence in my child's life. A physical presence in my child's life. I had everybody in my ear, girl, you better put him on child support, girl. He ain't getting his son, girl. You better put him on child support, girl. You better put him. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I always had my own. I always had my own. So child support for me wasn't really anything. Like, my son good. We good over here. Like, I don't need that child support. All I need is for you to be there for your child. But as years went on, he was still doing, you know, what he wanted to do, and he just wasn't being consistent. It would be times when he would get my son for like, he would start getting him, and it'd be like some good months, you know, some good months in there, and then he would just stop again. And then he'd show up again, and he'd start getting him, then it'd just stop again. You know, so if that's going to be, if you're going to be inconsistent with your physical presence, then we need that financial presence to be consistent. Okay, so that's when I had to go ahead and just make the decision to finally put him on child support. Okay, and trust me, that ain't consistent either. I got one payment. That ain't consistent either. So was it worth it? I don't know if it was worth it. But these are the things that you have to think about when you're getting into bed, when you're laying down with these men. That this could potentially become your life. This fight, this struggle, this battle. You have to deal with this person. Even if you don't want to deal with this person, even if you deal with this person this much, you still have to deal with this person because you guys have brought a child. You have brought another human being into this world together. So, you know, I'll deal with him. You deal with him. You got to think about this person when your child think about him. You try not to think about the person your child thinking about him. Your child bringing him up. Now you got to think about this person. You always have to deal with this person from day in to day out. Day in and to day out. You guys will not always agree on everything. You guys will not agree on everything. You probably won't agree on nothing. Or nothing at all. Or nothing at all. But you guys have to find a common ground. And for me and my co-parent, our common ground is to just not deal with each other at all. Just not here to resolve. And if we got to deal with each other at all, the most communication we have in a month, you can total it up to probably 8 hours. 8 hours a month throughout the whole month. If that. What I mean by that, co-parenting can be hard or it can be easy depending on your other co-parenting. I say this because when my daughter, father, and I split up, I think we split up for the max. It was about like a year and a half or maybe 2 years. We were apart. We were definitely co-parenting. We were co-parenting well. And I think a big part of that was because we spent years together before we had splitting up. So we spent years raising her together as one. So our parenting skills was definitely alike. The way we chastised, the way we talked to her, just everything we had already built together. So when we were separate, it was just easy going. Like we already knew what it was. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a completely different aspect than what I had with my son's father. That's a completely different aspect than what I had with my son's father. Again, we were young. We didn't know each other. We didn't even raise him together before we started raising him apart. So it's completely different. So the elements and the things that go behind your relationship, your past, is definitely going to play an effect in your co-parenting skills and your manners and your rules that you have set for your child. So everything plays a part. Trust me, everything plays a part. We weren't together. Everything was just easy selling. Okay, you coming to get her? Okay, you coming to get her? Okay, you coming to get her? Okay, what you doing over there? Okay, what you doing over there? Okay, we doing this. She having a graduation. She starting school. Okay, like we were still able to come together and be there for her because we already had such a strong foundation. You understand what I'm saying? So without that strong foundation, without that sound foundation, it is going to be hard. Learn that certain things you cannot control. If I can control the aspect, if I can control my other co-parent, it'd be a perfect world. But I can't do that. It's unrealistic. That is not realistic. That is not realistic. So you have to play the cards that you are dealt. You have to play the cards that you are dealt. And if you ain't ready to play, then get your ass up off the table. If you ain't ready to play, then get that ass up off the table. Because this table is for players. This table is for movers. This table is for shakers. That is going to wrap up this video. If you haven't watched my previous video, my introduction video, please make sure you go ahead and do so. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you are new here, okay? Give this video a big thumbs up if you can relate to anything that I said in this video. A thumbs up, not a thumbs down. A thumbs up, okay? So welcome to the A Gang, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next one. Bye.